Rancho Alamitos High School. Corners are playing in for the Wildcats. There goes Metzenliner, and she's going to steal third. Wow. So Paige Metzenliner, no one was covering third base. Levas at third was playing in, expecting the bunt, and Metzenliner just took off, and the shortstop was not able to get there to third in time. And Paige Metzenliner with back-to-back stolen bases. Then Brooklyn Bard with a short ball that drops, and the Bulldogs score, and Paige Metzenliner comes in, and the Bulldogs go up 1-0. Brooklyn Bard with a base hit. So back-to-back base knocks for the Bulldogs, and here comes Caitlin Gondara. Now batting number 30, Caitlin Gondara. So here comes Caitlin Gondara from Whittier, California, went to Lucerna High School. Brooklyn Bard on first. Let's see if she'll get moving. She's perfect on the year, 25 for 25 on stolen base attempts. She did not go on that first pitch. That is strike one. So Brooklyn Bard, 25 for 25 on both stolen base attempts. Caitlin Gondara, that 3-run home run in the bottom of the seventh to pull the Bulldogs within 4. As that pitch is fouled off to the right side, and that puts her in the hole 0-2. So she needs to protect. So Bulldogs strike first. Metzenliner coming in, and that ball hit foul. Caitlin Gondara went the opposite field, went right past Levas at third, and it goes just left of the third base bag. So the count remains 0-2. So both teams with 2 hits in this first inning. Gondara goes opposite field, left center. Is it going to drop? No, but what a play by the left fielder. Brooklyn Bard retreats back to first base, and what a play. Check out this replay. Opposite field to left center for Gondara. The left fielder goes over, makes a diving play for the first out of the inning and brings up Layla Jackson. Now batting first baseman number 12, Layla Jackson. So what a play by the left fielder. That is Tiani Wayton, who laid out and made a big play. That would have easily scored Bard. First pitch to Jackson. Swing and a miss, strike one. So Jackson from Vallejo, California, leading the team in average. She had a quiet first game, but batting .411 heading into today. Had those 2 home runs yesterday to help the Bulldogs, and Brooklyn Bard getting a huge jump off the bag, almost daring the catcher to throw to first base. So let's see what Coach Ortega is going to do here. The catcher, Ashley Sutton, has a cannon behind the arm, or behind the plate. So you got to watch out here. Bard was thinking of going, and the pitch is fouled off to the right side. So 0-2 here to Jackson. Overcast skies. Didn't think there was any rain in the forecast today. But the count is 0-2 with 1 out. Next pitch, fastball. Bard was running, and the ball hit into the bullpen. So cloudy conditions outside. Just going to be cool. 63 degrees outside currently. No rain projected. Rain is set to come in tomorrow, though. 50% chance. But no events happening. Tomorrow is going to be a nice day off with no events occurring. Really a pretty easy week for home events for Bulldog Athletics. As that pitch sent foul off to the right-hand side. So coming up this week, we have a women's tennis match at 5 o'clock on Tuesday against Claremont Mudscripts. And then the only other events we have coming up Friday, baseball game against Cal-Lou Friday afternoon at 3, and softball plays Whittier at 3 as well. And then men's tennis plays Claremont at 4 on Friday. And then Saturday, we have women's water polo against Occidental at 11. Women's lacrosse plays Pomona Pitzer at 12. And we have a women's flag football game occurring Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So really a lot happening on Friday, Saturday. As Layla Jackson sits here with 1 ball and 2 strikes. Next pitch, runner is going. That ball sent to the right side, but the right fielder camps under it. That's Vandersomen, and that will be the second out of the inning. So Jackson is retired, and this will bring up the catcher, Natalie Lothers. Now batting catcher number 26, Natalie Lothers. So here is Natalie Lothers getting the start for Bella Colt behind the plate. Natalie Lothers is batting .308 on the year, 8 hits with 4 runs scored, 2 doubles and a triple, 6 RBIs, 12 total bases, slugging .462. First pitch swung on and pops it straight up in the air for the first baseman. That is Sathoff, and that is going to end the bottom half of the first. But the Bulldogs strike for 1. A Paige Metzenliner gets a base hit, steals second and then third, and then comes in off another base knock by Brooklyn Bard. And the Bulldogs go in front 1-0 as we make our way to the top half of the second. We'll be right back on the Bulldog Sports Network. Here is J.C. Levas to start things off for Linfield, the third baseman who had a grand slam in that big 5th inning in Game 1. That put up 4 runs for Linfield. And that was big. The Bulldogs lost by 4. And they're going up against Galavez, who's a lefty. So that ball is going to be coming in on the right-handed batter. The count's even here at 1-1. But Galavez, she's been throwing great this season. 3-0 on the year. 2.28 ERA, 6 appearances, 2 starts. She has given up 8 runs, only 5 of them earned on 19 hits as that fastball is left up for a ball. 3 strikeouts as well, and opponents are hitting .328 against her, but she's been able to work out of jams before, and she's been used in great situations. So the Bulldogs have decided to start her here in Game 2. Great spot on the outer half. Counts even at 2-2. So chilly conditions outside. Pitch off the end of the bat. Wow, Layla Jackson with a great play to her left down the first baseline. The ball, it was a hot shot. And she stuck her glove out, makes the grab for the first out of the inning, and this will bring up number 1, Tiani Wayton, the left fielder. Now batting left fielder number 1, Tiani Wayton. So here is Tiani Wayton. First pitch to Addie Kim at third, throws the first in time, and that is going to be the second out of the inning. So Wayton's retired with 1 pitch. And this brings up the 8-hole hitter, Sophia Vandersomen. Now batting right fielder number 15, Sophia Vandersomen. So here is Sophia Vandersomen, senior from Tigard, Oregon. Playing right field. First pitch inside, fouled off towards the home dugout. Strike 1. So 0-1 the count. Sun was peeking in and out of the clouds in game 1. Now it's primarily been behind the clouds, so we have overcast skies. The rain is coming tomorrow here in the city of Redlands. Next pitch, fastball swung on and missed, strike 2. 0-2 the count. With 2 outs, Kaylin Galavez, great pitch up top to get the swing and miss. Bulldogs struck first with a run in the bottom half of the first. As that ball's hit off the end of the bat to Addie Kim. Gathers it, throws to Jackson in time, and that will be the third out of the inning. So Galavez, a 1-2-3 inning here for the senior from Yuba City. And the Bulldogs coming to bat now in the bottom half of the inning. We'll step aside and we'll be right back on the Bulldog Sports Network. Leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom half of the second, center fielder number 0, Janae Scott. So Janae Scott, sophomore from Merced, California, went to El Capitan High School. Batting .407 on the season, 21 games played, 11 starts, 11 hits with 10 runs scored and a double. Driven in 3, 12 total bases, .444 slugging, with 6 walks, 515 OBP. She's also 7 for 8 on stolen base attempts. So I talked to Jackson Vaughn before the second game here today as that ball's hit up the middle off the pitcher's glove. Is it enough time? No! And that's going to be a base hit for Janae Scott. So the leadoff batter reaches off a high chopper off the pitcher's glove of Warden. And this will bring up Addie Kim. Now batting third baseman number 8, Addie Kim. So here is Addie Kim. Had a bases clearing double in game 1 in that first inning. First pitch up the middle. Janae Scott hops over the runner. So a nice play by Janae Scott. She was running there where the ball was going. She leapfrogs over the ball and the position player. Didn't get tagged. Addie Kim gets thrown out on the play. And this brings up Faith Hernandez. Now batting second baseman number 15, Faith Hernandez. So here's Faith Hernandez stepping in. Freshman from Rancho Cucamonga, went to South Hills High School. Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position in Janae Scott. First pitch swung on, sent into right center. Playable for the right fielder. Janae Scott is not going. And a smart play because it wasn't hit deep enough. And this will bring up Cassidy Long. So the Bulldogs putting a pinch hitter into the game in that 9 spot. So Saya Fuji, the shortstop, usually bats in that spot. And the Bulldogs have elected to go with a pinch hitter here. So here's Cassidy Long from Hemet, California. First pitch to her, pitched just outside the plate, ball one. So Saya Fuji, a great defensive shortstop. She gets the bat taken out of her hands. She's batting .222 on the year with 8 hits and a double. And here's Cassidy Long batting .378 though, as that pitch is sent on the ground to the first baseman. She's hustling to first. Is she there in time? And it's a save! And the runner comes in to score, Janae Scott. Wow, what a play. Cassidy Long had a slow dribbler to the first baseman, Kaylee Sadhoff. It was going to be a tight play there at first. The second baseman moved over there. That was Bryn Nelson. It was fielded cleanly, flipped to the first baseman covering. The infield umpire saying that the runner is safe. So the tie goes to the runner. Cassidy Long beats out the throw, and that allows Janae Scott to go from second to home, putting the Bulldogs up 2-0. So Jackson Vaughn, the head coach for Linfield, talking to the infield umpire, determining why she was safe at first. He thought it might have been an outplay there, but no. Number 22 for the Bulldogs, Cassidy Long, beating out the throw down to first base. And this brings up the top of the order, Paige Messenliner. Now batting, number 13, Paige Messenliner. So now the Bulldogs are going to put a pinch runner into the game. So Cassidy Long is going to check out. Re-entry back into the game for the Bulldogs, number 44, Saya Fuji. So Saya Fuji is going to re-enter back into the game, getting the speed on the base pass with the freshman from San Jose. And this brings up the right fielder, Paige Messenliner. So the Bulldogs with 2 runs on 4 hits. 1 run in the first, another run here in the second. Here's Paige Messenliner, who got a base knock in her first at bat. First pitch left up, ball 1. Coach Ortega giving some signals out to Saya Fuji. There's 2 outs in the inning. Pitch just off the plate, ball 2. Cold conditions outside. No sun yet here in game 2. It's been all overcast. Here's Paige Messenliner from Fresno. Second team all-conference performer a year ago. As that pitch fouled off the backstop. Made the NCAA regional all-tournament team last year as well. And she's putting up some good all-conference numbers already this season. Bulldogs are going to be back in action next weekend when they open up a 3-game set with Whittier College. Single game here at home at 3 on Friday. 2 games on the road Saturday. Ball hit up the middle off the pitcher. She gets the first, not in time, and that's going to be another base hit for Messenliner. So Paige Messenliner hits a line drive back up the middle off the pitcher, Warden. The second baseman gathers it, not in time to get the runner heading to first, and Messenliner's 2 for 2. Now batting, number 3, Brooklyn Bard. So let's see what Brooklyn Bard will do. She got a hit in her first at bat. She also has an RBI. Here she is from the left-hand side. Messenliner on first, Saya Fuji on second. Here's the first pitch, the Bard, just off the plate, ball one. Possibly could see a bunt laid down here by Bard. So Saya Fuji over at second base. The corners are playing in right now, the same exact situation that happened when Bard was up the last time, but Messenliner was on second. And then they stole third. Pitch on the inner half, that's strike one. So the count's even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch, sent in the left off the end of the bat. Left fielder tracking, makes the grab, and that's going to be the final out of the inning. So that's weighted. Brooklyn Bard goes opposite field. Bulldogs tack on another run. They lead 2-0 as we head to the top half of the third. We'll step aside, and we'll be right back on the Bulldog Sports Network. So we are back. Scoreless. Top of the third. Linfield threatened, getting runners on the corners with 2 outs, but Galavez was able to get out of it. Caitlin Gondura leading things off here for the Bulldogs. Leading off for the Bulldogs here in the bottom half of the third, number 30, Caitlin Gondura. So here's Caitlin Gondura. Bulldogs with 5 hits, 2 runs. They lead 2-0 here in the bottom half of the third. Gondura's ahead 2-0. Here's Tyler Warden. Still out there. Gondura is 0 for 1, was retired with a flyout. Here's the 2-0. Fastball at the end of the bat. One hopper to the shortstop. Had it. Throws to first. Not in time, and Gondura is going to reach. And we'll see what the official score will be there. A hard hit ball to the shortstop. Had it in her glove, and that's going to go in as a hit. So a single to the shortstop. And Coach Ortega is saying he's going to put a pinch runner into the game. So Gondura is going to come out. And a pinch runner is going to come in. And let's see who it's going to be. And it's going to be Kayla Jackson. Pinch runner into the game for the Bulldogs, number 2, Kayla Jackson. So Caitlin Gondura is going to reach with a base hit right up the middle. A hard hit ball to the shortstop. That was in and out of her glove, and that brings up Layla Jackson to the plate, who is 0 for 1 with a flyout. Let's see what Kayla Jackson will do. She's 11 for 12 on the season on stolen base attempts. So I'm sure they'll get her moving as that first pitch is fouled off. Now batting for the Bulldogs, first baseman number 12, Layla Jackson. So here is Layla Jackson. Quiet first game. And today she was retired with a flyout. Second pitch fastball left up, ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Jackson. Kayla Jackson's the new pinch runner coming in for Gondura, who reached on a base hit to the shortstop. One sent sky high into shallow center. Kayla Jackson's going to retreat. And Layla Jackson will be retired. So this will bring up the catcher now for the Bulldogs. Number 26, Natalie Lothers. Now batting catcher number 26, Natalie Lothers. So Natalie Lothers will step in, the freshman from Wrightwood, California, the transfer from Orange Coast College. For her second plate appearance, she flew out in her first attempt and takes a first pitch strike. So cold conditions outside here in the city of Redlands, here at the Field of Dreams on a Sunday afternoon for softball. Final Sunday games on the Bulldog athletic schedule currently. Fastball's going to miss, ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Bulldogs will be back in action next weekend when they have a 3-game set with Whittier College. They host the Poets here Friday afternoon and travel on Saturday for 2 games in Whittier. Here's the 1-1. Runner is going. Kayla Jackson, the throw off the mark from the catcher. That was Sutton. And Kayla Jackson's going to get down to second base with a stolen base. So the count's 2 balls and a strike. Here in the bottom half of the third. Bulldogs trying to bring an insurance run as that ball is sent into right field. Playable for Vandersolman. And Lothers is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. And this will bring up Janae Scott. Now batting, center fielder number 0, Janae Scott. So here's Janae Scott. She got a base knock and scored a run and grounded out. So she steps in from the left side, trying to score that runner at second base. The corners are playing in. If so happens, she lays down a bunt. First pitch up the middle. Here comes Kayla Jackson. The throw home isn't in time. No, it's not. Wow! Kayla Jackson. Janae Scott got a single up the middle, and the center fielder was playing so far in, not playing Janae Scott to have any power over their heads. And the ball was hit so hard up the middle, Kayla Jackson was on her horse. Strong throw from the center fielder, but it was not in time to get Jackson, who slid in safely. So the Bulldogs are up now 3-0. Janae Scott then advanced to second on the throw. And here comes Addie Kim. Now batting for the Bulldogs, third baseman number 8, Addie Kim. So here's Addie Kim. 0 for 1, grounded out. So 3 runs on 7 hits. That ball hit right back up the middle, but this time Warden gathers it and is able to throw the runner out at first. But the Bulldogs tack on another run. They lead 3-0 heading into the fourth. We'll step aside to have a commercial break brought to you by Flo. We'll be right back. So Sydney Hess is going to lead things off for Linfield. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Kaylin Galavez still out there for the Bulldogs. Thrown 30 pitches, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts. First pitch is going to miss, ball 1. Bulldogs have tacked on a run every inning so far today. As that pitch will miss just low, ball 2. Good spot, though, from Galavez. So the Bulldogs are in the 5, 6, 7 spot right now. That pitch, that's going to be strike 1, goes inside on Hess. On deck is Levas, the power-hitting third baseman. So Linfield had runners on the corners with 2 outs, and they have a ball hit to right center. Back to the fence, to the wall. That's a home run! Sydney Hess, a solo shot, and Linfield is on the scoreboard. So Sydney Hess trots around third. A solo shot to right center, and that ball just carried. So Sydney Hess. So the home run ball was thrown back into play. And that ball left in a hurry, right center. The wind is blowing slightly here at the Field of Dreams, but that ball just kept carrying. First pitch, ball 1 here to Levas, who's 0 for 1, was retired with a flyout. So nobody out. Linfield gets one of those runs back here in the fourth. Solo shot to right center. Ball grounded to Addie Kim. Had it, bobbled it between her legs. And that's going to go in as an E5. So Addie Kim had the grounder to her and bobbles it. And that is going to be a pinch runner into the game now for the Wildcats. So Leivas reaches with the E5. And Addie Kim, she's been spectacular defensively here today. Pinch runner into the game for the Wildcats. Number 27, Kaya Young. So Kaya Young is going to be the pinch runner into the game now for the Wildcats. And stepping up to bat is going to be the left fielder, number 1, Tiani Waiton. Now batting, number 1, Tiani Waiton. So 0-1 the count here to Tiani Waiton, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Let's see if the Wildcats will play a little small ball here. Corners playing up. And that's going to be a strike on the outer half, strike 2. So instead of laying a bunt down, they're letting her hit away. On deck is the right fielder, Sophia Vandersomen, currently in the 7 spot. Pitch on the outer half, she does not chase. And that is ball 1. This would be a big out for Galavez. Got to get it out and out somewhere. That pitch up the middle, right to Janae Scott, who camps under it and makes the grab for the first out of the inning. So a good pitch there from Galavez on the inner half. And this will bring up Vandersomen. Now batting right fielder number 15, Sophia Vandersomen. So Sophia Vandersomen, 0 for 1, was retired with a ground out. Here she is for the second time. Runner at first. Let's see if they put her in motion. They have not tested out the arm of Lothers yet. As that first pitch, right at the knee, strike 1. Now Bella Kolb, we know she has a cannon behind the plate. But Natalie Lothers, we haven't really seen it yet this year. As that pitch catches the inner half, strike 2. Galavez really working inside on these right-handed batters. Great spot from the senior from Yuba City. So 0-2 the count. Next pitch, right to Addie Kim, and that's going to be another error. An E5 that hops up right on her. And instead of turning her glove over, she tried to keep it open. And by doing that, the ball ends up hopping right up underneath her glove. And that puts 2 runners on with 1 out for Ashley Sutton. Now batting catcher number 16, Ashley Sutton. So the Bulldogs should be out of this inning right now. 2 E5s on Addie Kim at third. And that is a bunt attempt by Ashley Sutton. Kaylee Sathoff is on deck. So 0-1 here to Sutton, who was retired with a flyout in her first at bat. Going outside, she pulls away, and that's 1-1. So runners on first and second. There's 1 out in the inning. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Sutton in the 9 spot. Top of the order, rolls over next. 1-1 on the ground to the shortstop. That is Fuji, the throw to first, hits off of Jackson. The runner stays put at third, but what a play by the shortstop, Saya Fuji. She laid out on the ground, makes a play up the middle, was flipped it over to Faith Hernandez at second. The double play could not be turned, but that puts 2 outs on the scoreboard, and this brings up Kaylee Satoff. Now batting first baseman number 17, Kaylee Satoff. Time has been called, and head coach Jose Ortega wants to go and have a conversation with the entire infield to discuss what they're going to do. Runners are on the corners. Sutton is in at first. No pinch runner. There's 2 outs, and you have Sathoff up, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. So you have the lefty-lefty matchup currently. Coach Ortega just wants to make sure they're all on the same page of what they want to do. The force out is at 2, or you can get the runner going down first. So he wants to make sure they are good to go because this is a big inning. Linfield has already brought 1 run across with that solo home run, and they're threatening here to pull within 1 with a runner 60 feet away. And this brings up Sathoff, who's 0 for 2. Has a strikeout and a flyout in her 2 at-bats. Galen Galavez would love to leave these 2 runners on base if possible. Here's the first pitch of Sathoff. First pitch just off the plate, ball 1. On deck is Claire Seats, who's 2 for 2 with a double. So you'd like to try and end this inning here if possible. So Claire Sathoff, senior from Philomath, Oregon, fouls that pitch away. Counts even at 1-1. So this is the final doubleheader for Linfield on their trip to SoCal. They played Cal Lutheran and Laverne. They're going to have an off day tomorrow, and then they fly home on Tuesday. As that ball's hit down the left field line, Bard comes in and makes a diving play over in foul territory, and that will end the threat. What a play by the left fielder who lays out to make the play. And it was in foul territory. It was close. And that takes us to the bottom half of the inning. Bulldogs hold the 2-run lead 3-1. We'll be right back on the Bulldog Sports Network. Maya Holshoe, a pinch hitter for the Bulldogs, is going to step in. Number 6, a junior from Redlands, California, went to Redlands High School, so the Redlands native. First pitch is going to miss up, ball 1. So 3-1 Bulldogs on top. Maya Holshoe, strike on the outer half. 1-1. So Kaylin Galavez She's been throwing great here in this game. Bulldogs have done great offensively with 7 hits against the starter, Warden. As that's a strike right down the middle. Now Warden on the year, she's perfect. 4-0, 2.71 ERA, 5 appearances, 5 starts, 3 complete games, and 2 shutouts. She's thrown 20 innings, 8 runs given up on 24 hits. As that ball's a slow roller to shortstop. Will it have enough time? No! Maya Holshoe beats it out, and that is going to be the 8th hit now for the Bulldogs. So this will bring up Saya Fuji. Now batting shortstop number 44, Saya Fuji. So this will bring up Saya Fuji. So the leadoff batter is aboard, and this will bring up the freshman from San Jose, California. Went to Pioneer High School. Runner is not going. First pitch, ball 1. So Saya Fuji batting .222 on the year with 8 hits, includes 1 double. She scored 8 times, 3 RBIs, 9 total bases, slugging .250 with 5 walks. Has been hit by a pitch 4 times and an OBP of .378. Bunt's going to be laid down, and that is going to be a foul ball. So she was tempting to lay down the sacrifice. Paige Messenliner's on deck, and she has a pair of hits today already, a run scored, and 2 stolen bases. Bulldogs have scored 3 runs already, 1 run in each of the first 3 innings. Leadoff batter is aboard in Maya Holshoe, who beat out a throw by the shortstop. And that bunt right to the pitcher, that's going to drop! And the force out at 2, Holshoe thought the pitcher Warden was going to catch it, and it ends up dropping right in front of her. And Linfield quickly was able to get the force out at 2, and that will bring up Messenliner. Now batting right fielder number 13, Paige Messenliner. So this brings up Paige Messenliner with 1 out. Unfortunate there. Saya Fuji laid down a good bunt. The pitcher almost caught it out of midair, but ends up dropping. Maya Holshoe kind of got frozen there and didn't know if she needed to advance or not. She didn't want to get doubled up. As that first pitch will miss just outside, ball 1. Next pitch, Messenliner, a long drive into left field, going back, that's a home run, Paige Messenliner. 2-run blast to left. 2-run home run, Paige Messenliner. So Paige Messenliner goes yard to left field. Here it is again on the BSN replay. Paige Messenliner with a solo shot to deep left field. Puts 2 runs on the scoreboard. And the Bulldogs lead now 5-1. Paige Messenliner. Now batting left fielder number 3, Brooklyn Bard. So Paige Messenliner, perfect still on the day. 3 for 3, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Includes 2 stolen bases and a home run. So this brings up Brooklyn Bard now, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI and a flyout. 9 hits now for the Bulldogs. They've also committed 2 errors. As that ball's lined right back up the middle. 10 hits now for the Maroon and Gray. And this brings up Caitlin Gondara. Now batting designated player number 30, Caitlin Gondara. So Caitlin Gondara, 1 for 2 on the day with a flyout. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner into the game. No, that's going to be Brooklyn Bard. So Jose Ortega is actually going to be re-entering Caitlin Gondara here. And that would have been bad if she was not re-entered. So Caitlin Gondara is re-entered back into the game as the DP. Brooklyn Bard's at first base. She has not attempted a stolen base yet today, but let's see if she'll try and get going. Gondara had a 3-run blast in the bottom half of the 7th in game 1 to pull the Bulldogs within 4. And here she is, Brooklyn Bard, stolen base, no throwdown, and that is ball 1. So Brooklyn Bard chose to go on a great pitch, the ball that was low. 1 out in the inning. Caitlin Gondara, Paige Messenliner, a 2-run shot out to left. Hit the pop-up out there in left field. The maroon pop-up with the Bulldog head logo on it. As that pitch will miss low, ball 2. So here's the 2-0 pitch. A little late, and it goes opposite field in the left. And that is caught by the left fielder for the second out of the inning, Tiani Waiton. So 2 outs now on the scoreboard. Brooklyn Bard stands at second base, and this brings up Layla Jackson. Now batting first baseman number 12, Layla Jackson. Bulldogs would love an insurance run here. They have 5 runs on 10 hits. Need as many runs as they can, especially against this high-octane offense of Linfield. As that first pitch will miss just off the plate, ball 1. Second pitch, that's going to be ripped foul down the left field line. And the count's even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Fastball fouled off to the right side now. 1-2. As that pitch sent off to the right side. Second baseman camps under it and makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Bulldogs tack on 2 runs as they extend their lead to 5-1 thanks to a 2-run shot from Paige Messenliner to left. We're heading to the top half of the 6th. We'll be right back on the Bulldog Sports Network. So here's Claire Seats to lead things off for Linfield. Bulldogs up 5-1 here in the 5th. Claire Seats on the day. She's perfect, 2 for 2 with a double. As that pitch fouled off, strike one. So 1-1 the count. Catcher's okay. Home plate umpire checks in on her. So the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch is going to miss low, ball 2. So the Bulldog women's golf team is on their way back from UC Santa Cruz, competing in the Santa Cruz Invitational. Bulldogs ended up finishing in 4th place, 12 shots out of 3rd, behind Pomona Pitzer. As Seats sends one into foul territory, Metzenliner camps under it and makes the grab for the first out of the inning. So 1 up, 1 down, and this will bring up Bryn Nelson. Now batting, number 9, Bryn Nelson. So they're on their track back. They ended up finishing ahead of Cal Lutheran, Whitworth, Santa Cruz, Whitman, Chapman Occidental, University of Wisconsin, Whitewater, and Texas Lutheran. Claremont Mud Scripps won the event. They beat Wash U and Pomona Pitzer. Addie Kim, nice play at third. One hopper, is it in time? What a play! Wow, Addie Kim. Take a look at this replay again. A hard hit ball to Addie Kim at third. Backhands it up the line. One hopper to Jackson, who makes the grab for the finish. Wow, what a defensive play. Now batting, DP number 20, Ashlyn Avon. So here's Avon, 1 for 2 with a flyout. Ball hit right back up the middle, hits the pitcher, rolls the first for the 3rd out of the inning. And they're going to have to check here on the pitcher for Redlands, Galavez, because that ball hit right off of her leg. She was able to gather herself, pick up the ball, and toss over to the first baseman. So Todd Conger, head athletic trainer, is going to talk to Galavez. She definitely got hit pretty hard off that leg. And he'll go take a look at it. Great heads-up play by her to go gather it and then roll and flip it over to the first baseman. But a 1-2-3 inning here by the Bulldogs heading in the bottom half of the 5th. All thanks to that Addie Kim. Nice backhanded play down the third baseline. And then the one hopper to Layla Jackson, who makes a nice pickup over at first base. So Layla Gomez is going to lead things off for the Bulldogs here. So Layla Gomez, the sophomore from San Bernardino, California, went to Aquinas High School. She's going to lead things off for the Maroon and Gray. And she's a good pinch hitter, too, for the Bulldogs. .313 batter on the season with 5 hits, has 1 double. 3 RBI, 7 runs scored, slugging .375 with 2 walks and an OBP of .389. First pitch, a ball just outside. Tyler Warden still out there. but almost laid down. Ball 2. So Warden, she's thrown 63 pitches in the game. She's given up 5 runs and 10 hits. No strikeouts. And here we have a pinch hitter for the Bulldogs, Layla Gomez. Bulldogs up 5-1 here in the bottom half. 5 runs, 10 hits. As that strike is right down the middle. Strike 1. So 2-1 the count. Pitcher warming up in the bullpen for the Bulldogs. Looks like Galavez might be stretching that leg out to make sure it's okay after getting hit hard on the plant leg. As that fastball chopped to the second baseman. Gathers it, throws to first in time, and that will be the first out of the inning. So 1 up, 1 down, and this will bring up Janae Scott. Now batting center fielder number 0, Janae Scott. So here's Janae Scott, 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Infield playing in. Janae Scott on the year. Batting .407. So you can't take her lightly. She has 11 hits, a double, 3 RBIs, 10 runs scored. She has 6 walks, slugging .444 with an OBP of .515. First pitch, strike 1. Great contact hitter. Tough out as well. And tons of speed. Strike on the outer half, and Janae Scott falls in the hole 0-2. So completely different games here. Game 1 was sunny. It's partly cloudy, but the sun was out a majority of the time. This game 2, it's been completely overcast the entire game. As this pitch will miss low, ball 1. So Linfield is going to have a day off tomorrow, but instead of flying home, they're going to stay out here for the day, and then they're going to fly home Tuesday. So that's according to their head coach, Jackson Vaughn, who said that before the start of Game 2. And then they're going to start up a 4-game set against Puget Sound as that pitch is fouled off. So they're going to play Puget Sound 4 home games. Next weekend, they host Puget Sound on Saturday for 2 games, and then they play Puget Sound for 2 games on Sunday. Then they play Pacific, Lewis and Clark, and then George Fox, Willamette, and then the Northwest Conference Tournament. For Redlands, they have Whittier, Claremont, Laverne, Cal Lutheran left, and that is strike number 3. So Janae Scott, she will go down with the strikeout and the second out of the inning, and this will bring up Addie Kim. Now batting third baseman number 8, Addie Kim. So here's Addie Kim, who's 0 for 2 with 2 ground balls. Still a lot of softball still left in this season. 3-game set with Whittier College next weekend. The Bulldogs will host the Poets on Friday afternoon, and that game will be streamed live on the Bulldog Sports Network. Then 2 games on the road at Whittier on Saturday. And then the following weekend, they play a 3-game set with Claremont. As that ball lifted in the left, Addie Kim with a base knock. That's 11 hits now for the Maroon and Gray. Puts a runner on first base for Faith Hernandez. Now batting second baseman number 15, Faith Hernandez. So here's Faith Hernandez, who's 0 for 1 with a flyout. There's 2 outs and a runner on first base. Let's see if they try and get the runner moving over at first. You have Saya Fuji on deck. First pitch on the ground, hit foul to the right side. So Faith Hernandez batting .273 on the year with 12 hits. Has 2 doubles, 7 runs scored, 9 RBIs. 14 total bases, slugging .318 with a walk and 3 hit by pitches. He also has an OBP of .327. Here's the 0-1. Fastball over the head of the shortstop. Into left center. There goes Addie Kim. Are they going to send her? Yes, they are. This is going to be a close play at home. But no, Addie Kim is in safely. And the Bulldogs add an insurance run. Faith Hernandez with a double to the left center field gap. The freshman drives it over the outstretched glove of the shortstop. And there comes Addie Kim all the way around to score. And the Bulldogs tack on an insurance run. They now lead 6-1, 12 hits for the game. And this brings up Saya Fuji. Now batting shortstop number 44, Saya Fuji. So here is Saya Fuji. Faith Hernandez with a double to left center. And it was a perfectly placed ball over the shortstop's outstretched hand, Sydney Hess. Sydney Hess is 5'10", so barely got it over her glove, and that rolled to the fence. And Addie Kim was on her horse from first base. So 1-1 the count. Here to Saya Fuji. Faith Hernandez over on second base. Pitch inside, ball 2. So 2-1. 2 outs in the inning. Bulldogs trying to add as much insurance as they can here. Linfield still going with their starter, Tyler Warden, despite facing some trouble here and giving up 12 runs. That ball lined into right field. They're going to send her, play at the plate, and it is in time. And the right fielder guns out Faith Hernandez, trying to get home. Coach Ortega is not happy, saying there was no line for her to slide to get to home plate. So they're saying it should be obstruction. Coach Ortega not happy about it. So we'll see on the replay. Hopefully we capture it here with Saya Fuji hitting it into right field. The right fielder gathered it. It wasn't deep enough. It got to her in a hurry. The throw home. And it was up the line a little bit on the replay, you can see, but Hernandez was outside the base path when it was going through. Coach Ortega saying, where was she supposed to slide? And so that might be something that gets talked about here, but it is the third out of the inning. Bulldogs being aggressive there. And we head to the top half of the sixth with the Bulldogs leading 6-1. We'll be right back. So a couple changes here for the Bulldogs in the top half of the sixth. Bella Culp is going to be the new catcher, and Caitlin Gondura is going to be the new pitcher. So Gondura going to come in and try and pick up a save. And leading off for Linfield here is Sydney Hess. Leading off for the Wildcats, number 11, Sydney Hess. Gondura starting things off with a strike. Gondura has a 2.22 ERA, 8-3 on the season, 14 appearances, 12 starts, 7 complete games, and 1 save. 66 innings thrown, 24 runs given up, 21 earned on 66 hits, 7 walks, 31 strikeouts, and opponents are hitting .253 against her. This is the first time we've seen her in either game. But what a great start by Kaylin Galavez, the senior from Yuba City. She was lights out in the start. And the Bulldogs lead 6-1. So they've given her some insurance and some breathing room. And you've got your ace, Gondura, coming in to try and hold on. As that ball's hit on the ground to the second baseman, Hernandez had it, bobbled it, throws the first in time, yes! And that will be the first out of the inning. So Faith Hernandez bobbled it just for a second, but was able to pick it up quickly and throw a strike to Layla Jackson for the first out. But now this brings up J.C. Levas. Now batting third baseman number 8, J.C. Levas. So here comes J.C. Levas. She's been quiet 0 for 2, reached on an air with a flyout. First pitch, fouled off to the right-hand side. Strike one. Bulldogs with 6 runs on 13 hits. Big first out there for Gondura. That pitch is going to miss, up and away, ball one. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Next pitch, fastball, ripped into center. That ball's get past Janae Scott, made a diving attempt. And that's going to go in as a double for J.C. Levas. 6th hit now for the Wildcats, and you've got to give the effort out in center field to Janae Scott. Made a diving attempt at it. It was going to be a tough play to make. Rolls all the way to the fence, and this brings up the left fielder, Tiani Wayton. Now batting left fielder number 1, Tiani Wayton. So Tiani Wayton is now up 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. First pitch, fastball, strike one. Bulldogs trying to hold on. They lead 6-1 here, top half of the 6th. A split here with Linfield would be big. Here's the 0-1, fastball, fouled off to the right side. Sunday afternoon of Bulldogs softball, 4:15. Fastball just off the plate, ball one. I know the March Madness games are occurring right now, but I'm sure everyone's been enjoying our softball doubleheader today. It's been an exciting one. Top teams, top 10 nationally ranked teams going at it here at the Field of Dreams. 1-2. Hit hard on the ground, up the middle. No throw home is going to be cut off. And the runners are on the corners with 1 out. So that's going to be the 7th hit now for Linfield. Puts runners on the corners for Sophia Vandersomen. Now batting right fielder number 15, Sophia Vandersomen. So Linfield rallying here with runners on the corners and 1 out. A ball that was hit hard up the middle. Just Janae Scott got there quickly and throws into the cutoff. And here is Vandersomen, who's 0 for 2 with an air and a ground out. Ball sent sky high in the center. Janae Scott's there, camps under it, throws to second to hold the runner up, and a smart play there by Janae Scott. So the Bulldogs give up the run for the out, and they hold the runner at first, which was a smart play by Scott in center. So this now brings up the catcher, Ashley Sutton. Now batting catcher number 16, Ashley Sutton. The ball was hit deep enough on the sacrifice fly by Vandersomen to bring in the runner from third. It's now a 4-run game, 6-2, but 2 outs on the board. First pitch, ball 1. So they bring in Bella Culp as a defensive replacement behind the plate. Just want to make sure nothing gets past her. She also has a quick pop-up time and a quick throw down to second as well. Here is Sutton, who's 0 for 2. Fielder's choice, a ground out and a fly out today. Pitch just off the plate, ball 2. Bulldogs will like to try and get the bats going again in the bottom half. They've scored every inning so far today. 1 run in the first, second, and third innings. 2 runs in the fourth, another run in the fifth. So they just continue tacking on insurance as they go through the contest. Here's the 2-0. That's going to catch the outer half. Strike 1. So a good spot from Gondara. So pitching-wise, Kaylin Gondara, a 2.22 ERA, 8-3 on the season, 12 starts, 7 complete games, 14 appearances, 1 shutout, and 1 save. Next pitch just off the plate, ball 3. 66 innings, 24 runs given up, 21 earned, 7 walks, 31 strikeouts. So she's now falling behind the 9-hole hitter, and you got the top of the order due up next in Sathoff. Pitch, catches, strike 2. Some movement there on that fastball. Kind of moved from inside to outside a little bit. Sutton thought it was ball 4, but no. Strike 2. And the count is full. Gondara going right after her here. Here's the 3-2. It's going to be off the end of the bat to right field to Messenliner. Ball carrying, but Messenliner makes the grab along the fence. A long ball that was hit there. Making our way to the bottom half of the 6th, and that ball kept carrying. We thought it might be a routine fly ball, but no, Messenliner caught it right near the fence. Linfield tacks on 1. They make it a 4-run game, 6-2. And we'll be right back here on the Bulldog Sports Network. Paige Messenliner to lead things off for the Bulldogs here. 1, 2, 3 batters. New pitcher into the game. Number 23, Lacey Vasas, the sophomore from Salem, Oregon. Went to McNary High School. .42 ERA, 2-0 on the season, 4 appearances, 2 starts, 1 complete game, 12 innings thrown, 17 hits, 9 runs given up, 8 earned on 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, and opponents rating .309 against her. Paige Messenliner, though, she's been red hot today. 3 for 3, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, a 2-run home run, and 2 stolen bases. An impressive stat line by the senior from Fresno. Takes a fastball right down the middle. Strike one. Here's the 2-1. Pitch is going to miss low, ball 3. Here's a ball sent sky high into center. The center fielder camps under it and makes a grab. That's Claire Seats. And that'll be the first out of the inning, and this will bring up Brooklyn Bard. Now batting second base or left fielder number 3, Brooklyn Bard. So this brings up Brooklyn Bard, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI and a stolen base. Here's the 0-1 to Bard. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. Next pitch, fastball's going to miss low, ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike here to Bard. That pitch fouled away. Strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch grounded to the first baseman, Sathoff, and she's going to touch first base for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down, and this will bring up Caitlin Gondura. Now batting, pitcher number 30, Caitlin Gondura. So here's Caitlin Gondura, who's 1 for 3 with 2 flyouts. Again, the new pitcher in for Linfield is Vasas. Now Warden got the start. She threw 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, an 8.40 ERA, 13 hits, had 1 strikeout, gave up a double and a home run. Here is Gondura with an 0-1 count. Pitch inside, that catches strike 2. So Vasas with a good spot. Now you look at Lacey Vasas, the sophomore from Salem, Oregon. She's got a glove in her back pocket. She also wears sunglasses on her visor. She's a pitcher utility player, so I guess she pretty much plays everywhere. Here she is with the 0-2. Fastball up off the plate, ball 1. So 1-2 here to Gondura. Bulldogs trying to come away with a split with the number 2 ranked team in the country and hand them their second loss on the season. That would be big for the Maroon and Gray to be able to do that, and that would really help them in the national rankings as well. Bulldogs currently ranked 6th. Linfield currently ranked 2nd. What didn't help the Bulldogs was losing 2 to Chapman over the weekend, dropping 2 of 3. But Chapman is a good team. They've got all seniors. Senior heavy as that ball sent down the right field line, but playable for the right fielder. That is Vandersomen. So we are making our way to the top half of the 7th. Linfield down to their final 3 outs, but they got the top of the order coming up. We'll be right back on the Bulldog Sports Network. So top of the order here for the Wildcats. If they want to make a push, this is the best time to do it with the top of the order up. Kaylee Sadhoff is up first. The 1-2-3 batters. Sadhoff is 0 for 3 with a strikeout looking and 2 flyouts. She's going up against Gondaro, who starts off with a strike. 2-hopper to Fuji. The throw to first. Is it in time? Yes, it is! Great play there by Saya Fuji. Sadhoff hustled down the first baseline really quickly. And this now brings up the 2-hole hitter, center fielder number 5, Claire Seats. Now batting, center fielder number 5, Claire Seats. So here is Claire Seats batting in that 2 spots, 2 for 3 with a double and a fly out. Sends a long fly ball out into left center. Janae Scott is there to make the grab. So the first pitch Seats sees, and she sends it out to left center. And Janae Scott makes the grab for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down, and Linfield down to their final out. Bryn Nelson, the second baseman. Now batting second baseman number 9, Bryn Nelson. So Bryn Nelson steps up 1 for 3 with a fielder's choice and 2 ground outs. Linfield down to their final out. Bulldogs looking to try and give them their second loss of the season. First pitch from Gondara, strike 1. That fastball just off the plate. Ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch off the edge of the plate, strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Pitch is going to miss low, ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Bryn Nelson. Bulldogs trying to finish things off. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Pitch lined up the middle. This game's not over. That's going to be the 8th hit now for Linfield. And to keep the line moving, they have Ashlyn Avon coming up. Now batting designated player number 20, Ashlyn Avon. Here is Ashlyn Avon. And Linfield wants to put a pinch runner into the game. So we'll wait and see who this is going to be. So it's going to be number 35, it looks like. Brianna Bartek, I think. 35? Pinch runner into the game, number 35, Brianna Bartek. So Brianna Bartek, the freshman from San Jose, is going to come in as a pinch runner. Now batting, Ashlyn Avon. And here's Ashlyn Avon, who's 1 for 3 with a ground out and a fly out today. First pitch on the ground. Saya Fuji's there. Flips to the second baseman, Faith Hernandez. What a play! And the Bulldogs are going to hand Linfield their second loss on the season. So they are going to split on the day. Linfield takes game 1, 12-8. The Bulldogs take game 2, 6-2. And that is going to do it here at the Field of Dreams, with the Bulldogs improving to 21-7. They are 6-3 in conference play. Linfield, they're going to move to 16-2, 6-0 in Northwest Conference action. That is going to do it here at the Field of Dreams for all of us here at the University of Redlands, we want to thank you all for tuning in to our doubleheader here on a Sunday afternoon in the city of Redlands. The Bulldogs are going to be back in action next weekend for a 3-game series against Whittier College. The Bulldogs are going to host Whittier on Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock and will travel to Whittier on Saturday, April 5th at 12 and 2. Those games will be streamed live on the Bulldog Sports, on GoRedlands.com and Flow Sports. We'll be streaming the game Friday afternoon on the Bulldog Sports Network, so make sure you tune in for that opening game with us against the Purple and Gold. For Linfield, they're going to have tomorrow off. Then they're going to travel back home to McMinnville, Oregon, and they're going to host Puget Sound on Saturday, Sunday, April 5th and 6th. The games against Puget Sound on Saturday will be at 12 and 2. The games on Sunday will be at 11 and 1. Once again, thank you all for tuning in here on Sunday. The Bulldogs and the Wildcats split in a top 10 matchup between nationally ranked programs. Linfield takes game 1, 12-8. The Bulldogs take game 2, 6-2. Final stats. The winning pitcher goes to Kaylin Galavez. The loss will go to Warden. For Redlands, batting-wise, Metzenliner finishes 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs with a home run, 2 stolen bases. Bard was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Gondara was 1 for 4. Kayla Jackson scored a run, had a stolen base. Jackson was 0 for 3. Lothers was 0 for 2. Gomez 0 for 1. Then Janae Scott was 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Kim was 1 for 3 with a run scored. Fernandez was 1 for 2 with an RBI and a double. Holshoe had a pinch hit, single. Fuji was 1 for 2 with a run scored. And Cassidy Long had a pinch hit single with an RBI as well. Then for Linfield, Sathoff was 0 for 4. Claire Seats was 2 for 4 with a double. Nelson 2 for 4. Avon 1 for 4. Hess 1 for 3 with a run scored, an RBI, a home run, and a strikeout. Levos was 1 for 3 with a run scored and a double. Waiton 1 for 3. Vander Solman was 0 for 2 with an RBI. Sutton was 0 for 3. So those are your final stats from today. Kaylin Galavez will improve to 4-0 on the season. Great start from her. And the loss will go to Tyler Warden. Her first loss on the season. She will drop to 4-1. Once again, thank you all for tuning in for our Sunday doubleheader between the Wildcats and the Bulldogs. We'll see you Friday afternoon here at the Field of Dreams when the Bulldogs host Whittier College beginning at 3 o'clock. And that game will be streamed live on the Bulldog Sports Network. Take care, everyone, and good night, and go Dogs.